Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast. This is our Power Prep segment, and we have our research team joining in to tell you what the trade setup looks like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Hormaz, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Well, the market setup is on expected lines, if I can say that, especially considering the week that we had. Now imagine this, we hit a record high, we fall the most in 4 years in a single day, and then we lose 30 lakh crores in a session and then recover all of that in the next 3 sessions. That just happened in a span of 1 week. Now for indices that fell over almost 4 to 8% in a single trading session, now ended the week with gains of anywhere between 3 to 4%. That was the market last week at 2,000 point trading range on the Nifty, ending almost 4% higher. The Nifty Bank, though, was a slight underperformer. We speak about that in just a bit, but the PSUs are the one losing. The PSE index, which fell almost 15% on Tuesday, was ended the week almost 2% lower. So that will be the one in focus as well. For the Nifty, some of the levels that you need to watch out for: 23,338, which was the record high. It came within 20 points of that on Friday. So that will be the first level to watch out for. Of course, once you cross that, of course, 23,400 and 500 also are some of the key resistance points on the upside. So the Nifty Bank, as I mentioned, was an underperformer last week, still ended 2% higher for the week, but in comparison to the Nifty and the other indices was an underperformer, still around 1,300 points away from its own record high. The first level, of course, will be 50,000. It ended 200 points below that level, so that would be the one to watch out for as well. Also watch out for IT stocks, because IT was one of the outperformers on Friday as well. All through last week, the index was up almost 9%, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Also, IT will be in focus because of the large block deal that will take place in Emphasis today. Some of the major cues now are out of the way. The government formation has taken place. The RBI policy is also out of the way. The focus will be back on stock-specific activity, and of course, the major cue will be the FOMC result decision later in this week. So the US markets ended on a slightly cautious note on Friday, but the GIFT Nifty is also indicating a flat start, but with a negative bias for our own markets.
Okay, all right. That is the market setup. Thank you so much for that. Now over to Vamakshi. She will list out all the stocks that are on our radar today. Good morning, Vamakshi.
Well, good morning, Sona. Let me first start off with Adani Enterprises. Its wholly owned subsidiary Adani Airports has handled over 1 million tons of cargo in FY24, which is an uptick of almost 7% YOY. Suprajit Engineering has signed a share and asset purchase agreement for the acquisition of the business of Stahlschmidt Cable Systems, and this is out of insolvency proceedings in Germany at an enterprise value of 13.5 million euros. Raymond will be undertaking the redevelopment of a society in Bandra East, and the project is expected to have a revenue potential of over 2,000 crores. Suzlon, on the other hand, could be under pressure after its independent director has resigned, citing some corporate governance issues. Coromandel International has unveiled a nano fertilizer plant at Andhra Pradesh with an annual capacity of nearly 2 million tons of fertilizers. Godavari Power and Nispat, a board meeting is scheduled to happen on 15 June. The company will be considering a buyback. PTC India reported a rather lackluster set of numbers, with revenue down nearly 2% and the net profit was down nearly 47%, and this was mainly on account of an exceptional operating expense at 20.5 crores in Q4. Jubilant Pharmova has announced completion of the US FDA audit of its contract manufacturing facility in Washington with 3 observations, while Dr. Reddy's has announced that US FDA has completed the GMP inspection at its API manufacturing facility in Andhra Pradesh. They've been issued a Form 83 with 4 observations. Ami Organics, on the other hand, its unit that is situated in Surat has received a certificate with 0 critical observations, while KEC has received new orders worth almost 1,061 crores. RVNL JV has emerged as the lowest bidder for a project worth almost 156 crores from Southern Railway. RailTel has received work orders worth almost 81 crores. IDBI has received an order from the Income Tax Department for a refund of almost 2,701 crores, and the bank is in the process of evaluating the implications of this order on the financial statements. And lastly, let's also watch out for Gulshan Polyols. The grain-based ethanol plant in Assam has passed all quality control parameters while conducting the trial run. Commercial production is also expected to start shortly after receiving compliances with oil marketing companies over the next 15 days.
Okay, that is a long list. Thank you so much, Vamakshi, for getting us up to speed with that. Let me go across to Mangalam finally. He's joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Good morning, Mangalam.
Good morning. So give and take all the volatility of last week, the market's still near record high. The Nifty just about 100 points away from a fresh high. The Nifty banked below that 50,000 mark, and on Friday it was led, of course, higher by the Nifty IT, which was up by about 3.5% odd, undoing some of the underperformance in the earlier part of the week. A large part of that can also be attributed to a couple of factors. One, the FIs bought more than the DIIs sold, so that was net inflow in the cash markets. Secondly, we had the FIs continue to add longs in index futures and cover some short positions after near record shorting earlier in the week itself. So nearly 6,000 crore worth purchased by the FIs, 65,000 long contracts added in index futures and 30,000 short contracts covered. So as a result of which, between June 5 and June 7, you would see the FI long exposure has increased from 17% to 30%, and the net shorts have come down from 3.1 lakh contracts to just under 2 lakh contracts. So that's the power of short covering that we've seen in the last two trading sessions itself. The interesting part was the Nifty Bank underperformed. So the FIs bought around 800 crores in Nifty Bank futures, whereas 4,900 crores in Nifty futures. And it is important then for the Nifty Bank to sustain above that 50,000 mark, for the market to see a sustainable rally. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a cut of almost 40 points at the start. So for it to recover from here, one, IT has to continue to outperform from, the move that we saw on Friday. And secondly, the Nifty Bank has to conquer that 50,000 mark. For the options, the 23,300 call and the 23,200 put are both active. With the premium on that, it looks as if the street is playing for a 23,000 to 23,500 range. Also watch out for a couple of stocks, Balrampur Chini and SAIL, both of them in F&O ban. And finally, just before we let you go, SEBI has issued a consultation paper to tweak eligibility criteria for stocks to be included in F&O. They've tightened those norms. Of course, right now it's just a consultation paper. Keep an eye out on a bunch of F&O stocks which see low volumes.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you so much, Mangalam, for joining us. So that's our Power Prep segment.